Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting stuck into the latest Springbok squad announcement. You know, that trimmed-down 45-man group, Rassie Erasmus, just named for the mid-year international.
Absolutely. And we're using a great piece from Planet Rugby as our guide today. It breaks things down really nicely into sort of winners and losers from these selections. It's a helpful way to look at Rassie's thinking right now.
Yeah, exactly. Our mission really is to cut through all the chatter, pull out what's actually important, the surprises, the stories behind the names. We want to give you a really clear idea of where the world champs are heading.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of clarity, if you like this kind of focused analysis, make sure you subscribe to Rugby Obsession. That way you won't miss out on future deep dives like this one.
So let's just paint the picture for this squad first. This group, they're basically kicking off South Africa's international season. It's a pretty packed start, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you've got the Babos game in Cape Town, then Italy twice, Georgia once, and then bang, straight into the Rugby Championship.
Wow. Okay. So no gentle start then. And the big picture here, the strategy from Rassie, according to the article, it really seems to be about casting that net wide, doesn't it?
Definitely. It looks like it's all about building depth. And they're saying explicitly, this is with an eye on defending the World Cup in 2027.
Right, that makes sense.
And you can see that straight away in the numbers. This 45-man squad, it includes 7 players who haven't got a cap yet, 7 uncapped players. That's quite a few new faces getting brought in.
Yeah, that is significant. It really signals that future planning is happening right now. Okay, so let's dig into the players who sort of punched their ticket this time around, the winners, as the article calls them.
And one of the most interesting ones for me is Boan Venter. He's a loose head prop, 28 years old, playing over at Edinburgh. And here's the thing. He's the only guy in this 45 who wasn't in that bigger alignment squad announced earlier.
Oh, really? Just him?
Just him. That alone makes you sit up and take notice, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. The article flags this as a massive chance for him. Maybe his shot at a test debut. What's his game like? What would Rassie be seeing there?
Well, the word is he's very physical, really solid in the scrum, does those core jobs well. But the piece also mentions he gets around the park pretty decent in the loose, too. So, not just a set-piece guy.
Okay, got it. And there's that interesting backstory, too, right? Moving to Edinburgh in 2021. The source hints that maybe, just maybe, Scotland was on his radar because of eligibility rules.
Exactly. And now Rassie's brought him into the Bokke fold. It's a bit of a curveball.
It really is. Shows how wide that net is cast. But there's a reason this opportunity popped up now, isn't there? Injuries.
Yeah, that's the crucial context. The article points to injuries to Gerhard Steenkamp and Ntuthuka Matuno, 2 other loose heads. It just shows, doesn't it, how one player's chance often comes from another's bad luck in this game.
It's the tough reality. Okay, another player making a comeback is Evan Roos. His journey with the Bokke since, 2022? It's been a bit up and down. The article calls it like a yo-yo.
Yeah, that feels about right. He was notably left out of that recent alignment camp, wasn't in the first big training group this month either. So him being in this final 45, it means he's, like the article says, well and truly back in the mix.
And again, like Venter, his chance seems linked to others' misfortune. Back row injuries.
That's right. Opportunities have opened up because Cameron Hanekom and Horno Augustus are unfortunately out injured right now. And Roos, well, we know what he can do when he's firing.
Explosive ball carrier.
Absolutely outstanding with ball in hand. But the article also makes a point of saying he's been improving his defense, his work at the breakdown too. So for him, this feels like a really key chance to show he's got that all-around game, to maybe stick around more consistently.
Definitely. Now, a massive boost for the pack, although maybe less of a surprise winner, is Jasper Wise being included. His recovery feels like a win in itself, though.
Yeah, absolutely. He was the main man at number 8 through 2024, then had that serious neck injury, needed surgery.
And the article mentions there were real worries he might miss the whole 2025 test season. That's always scary, a neck injury like that.
It really is. But the good news, highlighted in the piece, is that he's actually recovering ahead of schedule. They expect him to be ready for that Babos game.
That's huge for the Boss, isn't it?
Massive. A fit Jasper Wise brings serious power. The source reckons his return as a big boost, especially for those early games against the Babos, Italy, Georgia. And, if he gets through those okay, he's seen as a key player for the big rugby championship battles later on. That power is hard to replace.
Yeah, you need that. Stepping back a bit, you could almost say Rassie Erasmus himself is a winner here. Despite all the injuries and setbacks you always get, he still managed to weave in new talent alongside that core experienced group.
That balances everything, isn't it? He's still got that incredible old guard to lean on. The article lists the names Khaleesi, Etzebeth, Faf, Dalondir, Creole, Mostert, Pollard, Willie LaRue, Mapimpi.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Their experience, as the source says, is just invaluable for a long season. They're the bedrock.
And thinking about those Italy and Georgia games specifically, the article expects Rassie to use them as a chance to blood some of those 7 uncapped guys we talked about.
Yeah.
Seems like the perfect time, really.
It does, and it's interesting, 6 of those 7 newcomers are forwards.
Is that right?
Yeah, Venter, obviously. Then 2 other props, Niefling Fichet and Asanathi Nutlabakanye, the Scarlet's hooker, Marnus van der Merwe, and 2 utility forwards, Cobus Wise and Vincent Chituka.
So just 1 uncapped back.
Just the one. Ethan Hooker, utility back from the Sharks.
It's genuinely exciting, isn't it, thinking about who will get a run and how they'll handle putting on that jersey for the first time.
Well, absolutely. It's a huge moment.
A really critical step for them and for Rassie's bigger plan.
Okay, let's flip the coin now. Let's talk about the players who've hit a setback or just missed out on this particular squad for whatever reason. The article calls them the losers, maybe a bit harsh, but in the context of this announcement. Yeah, and it's important to say, like the article suggests, this isn't necessarily about talent. It just shows how incredibly tough it is to get into this box squad and how brutal injuries can be. Cameron Hanekom is, well, a really tough example.
He's been fantastic, hasn't he? A real shining light for the Bulls, everyone talking about him. Won that URC Next Gen award, too.
Made his debut against Wales last year, looked like he was really on his way. But the reason he's missed out now is a really bad hamstring injury he picked up recently.
That's rough.
Yeah, the source even mentions the incident happened after a cleanout from Siya Kolisi in a URC game. Just awful luck.
It really is. And it's serious, right? Long term.
Very. Rassie's actually quoted saying Hanekom is one of 5 players they think are unlikely to play for the Boks at all in 2025 because of these long-term injuries. That's a huge blow for him, obviously, and for the Boks' immediate back row options.
Wow. Okay, another number 8 facing a hurdle is Warren Augustus. He's been brilliant for Northampton Saints.
A star performer, yeah. But the article explains he's out for now because of a back injury that made him miss a key game for Saints.
Right. But there's more to it than just missing games.
Yeah. The crucial bit is he hasn't got medical clearance from his new club, Ulster, where he's heading. And without that clearance, Rassie basically can't pick him for these Italy and Georgia tests. Simple as that.
Ah, okay. So it's a logistical thing as much as anything. Is the door closed for the whole year?
Well, the source offers a bit of hope there. It suggests he might still get a debut later in the year, maybe in the Rugby Championship if he gets cleared. So missed opportunity now, but maybe not for the whole of 2025. Just depends on that clearance.
Okay, fingers crossed for him then. Then we have the Hendrikse brothers, Jaden and Jordan, both really talented scrum halves. And like the article says, they haven't let the Bucks down when they've played.
Definitely not. But they were part of that group of 5 players released from the squad recently.
So why them? Just competitive.
It really seems like it. It's less about them, more about just how stacked the Boks are at halfback right now. You look at the list, Faf, Cobus Reinach, Grant Williams, then you've got Libok, Pollard, Feinberg Mazuli covering fly half and sometimes scrum half. It's just incredibly competitive.
It really is some depth there. But the article was positive about their future.
Yeah, very positive, actually. It stresses they're talented guys, they will play for the Boks again, and they're expected back in the conversation later this year. So this release seems more about managing squad numbers for now, not a permanent decision.
That's good to hear. Who else was released?
The other 3 were Quan Horn, the Lions fullback, actually got his first cap last year against Portugal.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Flanker Renzo Duplessis and Takozo Makaza, a utility back from the Cheetahs.
And Rassie mentioned Makaza specifically.
Yeah, there's a quote saying he'll definitely play for the Boks one day. And the feeling is similar for Duplessis, and they expect Horn to get more caps too. So again, they're stepping away for now, but still very much on the radar.
Right, which is important for those players.
Definitely. And finally, just to complete the picture, the article lists some other big names currently out injured. This really explains why some of these opportunities have opened up.
Okay, who else is on that list? Beyond Hanekom, who are the other long-term worries for 2025?
The other 4 Rassie mentioned as unlikely for this year are props, Trevor Nyakane and France Malabé.
Wow, huge experience there.
And loose forwards, Dion Forey and Elrie Liu. That's a lot of seasoned players missing.
It really is.
And like we said with Boan Venter, the article names Steenkamp and Matunu as the injured loose heads creating that gap. Plus, Lucan is out with some kind of knock, and Pieter-Steph du Toit is still on the mend from shoulder surgery back in January.
Man, when you list them all out like that, it really hammers home why building depth is just non-negotiable for Rassie and the Borns, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The physical toll is immense. You know players will get injured. Having others ready to step in, like these uncapped guys hopefully will be, that's just vital if you want to keep winning, especially looking towards 2027.
It's a constant balancing act.
That battle against attrition, yeah.
So think about all this, the winners getting their chance, the guys facing setbacks. What really jumps out at you from the squad announcement?
Are you buzzing about any of the new guys maybe getting a run out against Italy or Georgia? Any names included or maybe left out that surprised you?
What do you reckon this squad tells us about the Boks' immediate plans versus that longer road to Australia in 2027? We genuinely love to know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments or wherever you listen.
Yeah, definitely let us know. And while you're thinking about it, just another quick nudge to subscribe to a Rugby Obsession. Hit that subscribe button and you'll get all our deep dive sent straight to you. Stay right up to date with us.
So just to quickly wrap up what we've dived into today, the Springboks are mixing it up. You've got the experienced core, but Rassie's actively bringing in new blood, clearly building towards that 2027 World Cup defense. This announcement means huge opportunities for some guys who earned it, or maybe got a bit lucky with timing, but it also highlights the tough side players missing out, often because of those brutal injuries.
Yeah, it shows the potential, but also the challenges ahead.
Which leads us to maybe a final thought for you to ponder.
Oh.
Given how many players we've talked about dealing with serious long-term injuries and the specific reasons guys like Augustus are sidelined right now, how crucial do you think injury management, prevention, rehab, rotating the squad, how crucial will that be for the Springboks over the next couple of years?
That feels like it could be absolutely massive, couldn't it? Potentially the difference between arriving in Australia in peak condition with real depth or not. Definitely something to keep a close watch on.
For sure.
Thank you for listening to this Rugby Obsession deep dive, and we will look forward to you listening to our next episode.